everybody, it's time to LOL. Listen out loud, that is. It's time for Anime Jam Session with DJ Ranma S, Mako-chan, and Ari Rockefeller.
Hey everybody, welcome to Anime Jam Session, episode number 496. We are that podcast that talks about anime, games, conventions, the fandom, geek stuff, and everything in between. I'm DJ Ranma S.
I'm Ari Rockefeller.
And I am Mako-chan.
And Ichigo will be out for a few weeks. Nothing bad, but it seems that her husband is on a different work shift now, so it kind of throws her work shift into another one. So until things swing back around, she'll be back then. In the meantime, it'll be the three of us, and if I'm able to pull it off, you may see Wild Spice or Koi, popping in here and there. It'll be good to have them on the show. So, we'll see how things go. So, anywho, how is everybody doing tonight?
My allergies, they weep.
I'm more like, you ever go shopping and the cashier is not really, the cashier doesn't really screw up, but they look at you like, I don't know what to do at this point, and you just like, what?
That's like my default setting 90% of the time, so.
Yeah, I'll get into that, during my weekend day. It's kind of interesting. So, And I just realized I didn't hit record on Audition, but I just hit it now, so I'll be pulling like 10...
Back on the Liquid Death stuff, so there's that too.
Yeah. I'll be pulling like this week's episode down and just grabbing like the first 5 minutes or something. No harm, no foul, It's all good. Isn't Liquid Death just regular water?
It's Alpine, it's, drinking water made from like, what is it? Drinking water from Alpine, runoff from Austria.
Yeah.
And they're, putting a lot of effort into recycling plastic and repurposing it because the cans are a lot easier to break down and use again for other stuff.
I get that, but then there's me.
And the water's really good too.
No, I believe it, but there's me. I'm just like, I can just buy a Brita filter and a buck and a container and just call it a day.
Well, I have that too because I like drinking that.
Yeah, I mean,
I just have to replace it eventually.
Yeah, you're supposed to replace that thing like every 3 months or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think I still have the same ones from a while now.
Yeah, the filter gets clogged up. Some of them are washable, and you can just wash the filter out. But otherwise, you do need to switch them around, or it just gets clogged and you're not really filtering.
It's one of those things where I've been putting it off.
Yeah, I actually had a Brita filter. I had the one where you connect it to the tap because I'm like...
I have one of those too.
I'm like, there's no point in me having, a refrigerator one because I don't drink water all that often. And then eventually, because of the weight of that thing, my faucet broke. So I went and got another one. A friend of mine's like, why don't you get one to go under the sink? Okay. The filter system to go under the sink is anywhere between $100 and $300, whereas the one that goes on top is only like $30 to $40. So, if it was my own house, yeah, I would put a filtration system in, but this ain't my house. I'm not looking to invest that kind of money, so, But eventually I started...
Even when you move out, you won't get to take it with you.
Exactly. I'll take it with me, but I'm just like, maybe where I'm moving to, I don't need it, so, And I noticed when I put it back onto the new faucet, it started to kind of heave a little bit. I'm like, yeah, no, this ain't gonna do. These companies need to figure out a better way to have something. I've seen ones where it's like a little spigot that attaches, and then there's like a tube that runs down that sits next to the faucet. Haven't seen one of those in a very long time, so But all I do now is just fill my my little canteen with water, and I just have it here, which I'm going to grab in a few minutes. So anywho, yeah, let's get back. Let's get the show on the road. So we are live tonight, week of April 27th, here 2021 here on Twitch TV. You find us here every week on Tuesdays from 9:30 to 11 here at Twitch TV/Anime Jam Session from 9:30 to 11. So come through, hang out, and have a good time. That's what we do. And we're also part of the Voice of Geeks Network, so you can check them out at vognetwork.com. And they're also here on Twitch on Sundays and occasional streams throughout the week. You can find them at Twitch TV/vognetwork. And we're also on Discord, so you can find them at vognetwork.com/Discord. Every show is part of the Voice of Geeks Network, has their own channel, so come through, hang out, and have a good time. It's all good in the hood. So we're going to kick things off with how was your week? Ari, how was your week? Tell the fans that while I go and grab my canteen of water and my next figurine that I bought for, our Geek Roundtable. So, yeah.
All right. Let's see. Well, I'm still sitting at home because I'm still on, workman's comp, and that's been so much fun. Seriously, I hate just sitting at home doing nothing.
How long did they extend it to?
Well, I went to the doctor's today. Well, yesterday actually, and they looked me over. They asked me how I was feeling with everything, and saying like it's not as bad. The cortisone injection helped, but they want me to do physical therapy now, which I'm all for. And I'm really starting to, hate it, especially because my paycheck came today, and oh boy, it's bad because it's all workman comp money, and we're talking, I'm back to like normal collector wages.
Well, that's not good.
I mean, I can make rent this month, but that's about it.
Wait, making rent now? What?
I got my first paycheck, which was all workman's comp money.
Mm-hmm.
And it's drastically lower than what I've become accustomed to.
Oh, I know that feel. It's sort of like it's the money is around the type of money you were getting when you first started the job, right?
Oh yeah.
Well,
But good news. I start physical therapy soon. I just have to get a call from the medical department to figure out where and when I can go, because they have to find a place close to me.
Gotcha.
But other than that, it's just been staying at home, doing very little and just climbing up one wall and down the other. I mean, it's not like and now that I've seen the check, I'm like, okay, I can make rent, and that's about it. I still have money squirreled away other places, but...
So at least you have money in savings you can pull from.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Like the stash account and, the emergency savings account. It's the one where every time you make a purchase, it moves $1 into it.
Yeah. The thing is, when I look at my account, it's like, I look at my savings, I have 2 months of rent in my savings account. I guess that's... I guess!
I could be that lucky.
I'm just saying, I guess that's an accomplishment. That's because I just keep throwing $25 into the account every week and just ignoring it, so...
I haven't been able to do that consistently until I got promoted.
Gotcha. I get that.
Yeah, every time I did that, I went, ooh, I have money for a tattoo.
Nope. But other than that, yeah, I'm back on the Liquid Death game because on Earth Day they had 50% off everything, so I got 3 cases of that.
Okay. I will say...
Other than that, it's just normal stuff, really.
Gotcha. Ari, I will say this, though. Nice shirt, dude.
Thanks.
I was coming through, by Old Navy, and I'm like, and I see like the short sleeve shirts, and I'm like, oh, it's that time of the year again. And I go in briefly, but they're not like the military style one where it has like the lapel attaches on the sides, and I'm like, yeah,
The
no,
little,
yeah,
whatever the hell they're called, pauldrons.
Pauldron, yeah. But I might go and buy a few of those because during the summer, if I'm not wearing a nerd shirt like I am now, I will wear one of those, short sleeve shirts, wear a pair of shorts and
Nice
call it a
polo.
day. Yeah. No, not a polo. It's a button down.
Oh.
I've come to the realization I don't like polo shirts anymore.
Oh, well.
Mako-chan, how was your week? How was your day?
My week has sucked. Mainly that is due to allergies. This has been my worst allergy season in ever.
That
So,
sucks.
yeah, I mean, for the most part, as I've gotten older, my seasonal allergies have gotten worse. So, this past allergy season, I'm on a prescription allergy med. I'm on 2 over-the-counter allergy meds. I have been taking Advil, which will be switched to one of the sinus, either Tylenol or Advil sinus,
Right.
basically Thursday once I get paid. And I had to go out and buy myself an inhaler because I was wheezing so damn much and it was hard to breathe.
You know what it is? This is what I think it is. I think because of the pandemic and nobody is going anywhere, not many people is traveling like they should, and the pollen's not traveling around like it normally does. That's what I think it is.
I don't know. I've got no idea what the hell it is, but whatever it is, it sucks. So I will be, if it does get any worse, I may have to go and actually get a prescription inhaler because I know those are stronger than the over-the-counter one. But yeah, it hasn't been fun. I've woken up a couple of times and had to actually go and get my inhaler because I woke myself up wheezing. And
Oof.
it's a very weird feeling because it's very weird. So yeah, it's been a week.
Well, honestly, I think you should be more worried if you woke up dressed as Weezer singing Buddy Holly.
That's the kind of stuff you do when you have a 102-degree fever and you're in the middle of a flu.
No, that's the kind of stuff that you do when you take Ambien and don't actually let yourself fall asleep. And then the next morning you have pictures of it and remember nothing.
I just want you to...
No, better yet, someone else has the pictures.
No, I just want you to know that has actually happened to me. Not because I've had I've taken Ambien. It's because I've been at a con and I've probably drank more than I normally should. And I look at my phone and I'm just like, where did these photos come from? And you realize you are the only one with these photos, and you're just like, how?
At
And where was I?
Stay with me.
And
then you're like, wait, let me check my social media things.
No. See, the thing is, I wouldn't give a damn if it's on social media because I'd fucking own up to it and be like, yes, this happened. I don't know how. I had 10 shots of tequila. So it would be like that.
Now the question is, did you have them all at once or are they spaced out?
Probably all at once.
A little bit of column A.
I've been to those conventions.
2
Because
clips
I'm
of
usually
5.
the one. I'm usually the one shucking the tequila around. I've been to those conventions.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. It's like
I'm the one slinging around the Captain Fabulous.
you do a shot after shot and you realize, wait, I need to slow down, and then it's like too late.
Fuck it, we die like men.
It's like how many of those did I have? So it's like that that day that when we went to the BronyCon,
Yeah.
and I was
I'll
just
be
hanging
drinking
out
mead out
outside
of
and
this
didn't
thing.
have a badge. So
Yeah.
when everybody left to go do things at night, I said, well, screw it. And I made a honey badger don't give a shit, which
Mm-hmm.
basically meant that I took every single alcohol that was sitting on the counter and put it in a cup.
Mm-hmm.
And that it was tasty. It looked disgusting, but that shit had a lot of Everclear in it, and yeah. I think I had 3 of them.
Father of mine. Dun-dun-dun.
Yeah.
Tell me, where have you been?
That is one of the only times I have ever woken up with a hangover.
I don't get hangovers.
No, I get headaches.
And I finished off a like the day after a you know New Year's party, you know, with my computer overturned, my mattress and box spring against either wall, and just one corner of my room just covered in puke, and I'm like, oh, this sucks.
See,
At least I was sleeping on my side.
See, most of the times, I wake up with a headache, and I just take some Advil or some aspirin, and I'm good in 45 minutes. Except for that AAC, I don't. Maybe I drank more than I normally did because I was having such a good time, but yeah, that was one of the few hangovers I got where I had to cancel an interview, and I was still feeling that headache all the way into the car ride. Oh.
Now I just want to do one of these, just shing, and there's like shot glasses in between each finger, each little gaps. You know what I mean?
Okay, Doctor Strange.
That reminds me, next week you have to remind me that I have to show off the shot glasses I got.
Okay.
I'm not going to get them right now, but
All right.
next week you have to remind me to show off my shot glasses.
Okay. All right. So my weekend day it's the same except that I had to reinstall Windows on my little Surface tablet over here that I run the board, and for some reason after I'd log in it wouldn't boot, so I just wiped it and just put a fresh copy of Windows on it, and it's running fine. For a 5-year-old device, I can't complain. So I am looking at upgrading my Surface Go. And I'm thinking about getting like a refurbished Surface 3 or Surface 4, because evidently a refurbished Surface 3 or 4 with the Touch Pro keyboard is cheaper than a Go 2 with a touch keyboard. At least the refurbished devices are a lot faster, so that way I don't have to get up to my computer every time I get a message. I'm just like, and the message hits my phone, and I'm like, my watch, and I'm like, I actually need to respond to this, But I actually put together my stuff that I need from IKEA, and I finally tracked down my friend who was going to take me over there. But it looks like I'll have to meet her at the one in Jersey, because that's the only one that has all the stuff I have, which is basically a new dresser, a new frame, and a new mattress. So that's going to be good. And I also decided, just out of pure curiosity, to check this hard drive. Now, some of y'all don't know, but for the last couple of years, I would always carry this 1 terabyte hard drive with me to conventions. So after every night I take photos, I dump them to this. Then, in turn, when I get home, I would connect this to my computer and just dump all the photos that way. Just in case I should ever happen to lose, this right here, which is like my SD cards, just because, just in case, So I happened to go in here one day earlier, like last week, and just look. I found all of ZenkaiCon 2018 and the interviews, so it looks like I could blow some dust off of the YouTube page that we have and upload some stuff. So happy about that. Yeah. And as Cia DeBerry says, my refurbished Surface 3 Plus keyboard and pen ended up being right around $300. Bro, I have the official pen. I had to replace it once because I lost it training at another store, which was like $50. I'm like, yeah. The newer Surface pens are nearly $100, and I see why. And I realize when I get my next Surface, I'm probably not going to get the pen because I don't think I need it. But It would be nice, but we will see. Hopefully you got the Surface 3 with that has the 4 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of memory, because this is the 2 gig 64 gig one, the one that Microsoft gave all of us when we started. So So also today, I decided that I am going to get a new electric shaver, because I have two. I have this nice Philips Norelco one I've had for 10 years, which is good, but it's getting long in the tooth, and after cleaning it and buying the blade, it's not good as it used to. So, and then for Christmas, as part of a Secret Santa, I got one of these cheap $20 palm-size electric shavers. If you go on Amazon, you'll find them for $20 to $25. Some dropship sites will sell this for like $60, $70. Don't get ripped off. And it's good. And I actually love it. And I realize I'm using this new palm one, to cover, to shave off, do a normal shaving. And I'm using my Philips one with the trimming to kind of fix the mustache area. So I'm like, yeah, I think I just need one for all. So I did some looking around. Best Buy had one that I wanted. So I'm like, I'll go over to Best Buy, buy it, and call it a day. Now, I don't know about y'all, but some shopping apps allow you to link your store credit card in the app. So all you have to do is open the app, show a QR code or barcode, and that's it. And that's what I love about Target. I don't have to carry my Target card anymore. Open the app, fingerprint scan. That's it. Comes right up, scan it, and go about your way. I love that. I absolutely love that. And Best Buy just started rolling that out. So, one time I went to buy something, and I pull out, the phone. And I had to scan the QR code. They thought it was for my rewards card, and it couldn't process the transaction. And I'm just like, I didn't bring my card. And the cashier's like, no problem. Do you have your ID on you? Yeah. So, they processed my order with my ID card. Great. Perfect. Fail safe. Today, however, for some reason, the digital wallet app or whatever wasn't processing. And she's looking at me like, I don't know what to do. And I told her, I don't carry my card. And she's like, I don't know what to tell you. So I'm like, that's okay. Because I've realized that maybe I kind of make an exception where I remember, working as the cashier or the sales where something like this, I'd have a fail safe. It's like, if it was me, I'd call for a manager and explain the situation, let the manager handle it, because the manager would know what to do. But in this case, I'm just like, what? Mind you, the manager was right there when they price matched the electric shaver for that Target had for the same price. And I'm just like, I absolutely cannot believe this. So instead of losing my shit, I'm like, I'm good. And I just walked out and did the rest of my shopping. Now, granted, I could have bought that electric shaver for the same price at Target, and I would have saved an additional 5% because of the Target card. The only reason why I went to Best Buy is for the reward points. That's all I really gave a damn about, I'm like, reward points. I want them, so So this is what I'm going to do. Next Tuesday, I am going to try this again and see what happens. And I'm just like, I don't want to be like, what's his name from Die Hard? Bruce Willis going, how can the same shit happen to the same guy twice? So that's basically has been my week and day. All right. Housekeeping news. Let me pull this up real quick. I just want to throw out and say thanks for all the fan support from everybody just giving us bits, giving out subscriptions, and spreading the good word and the hosting. Y'all are awesome, and it's greatly appreciated. And don't forget, on our YouTube page, you'll see a section called VOD episodes or podcast VODs. Basically, on Thursdays around 12 noon, this week's episode will be available for watching. So if you happen to miss it and you can't get onto Twitch, or if you want to check out an older episode, They're all there, so check them out. It's basically all of the episodes starting from January of this year going down for the most part. So, let's see, what else do we have here? And don't forget our countdown to episode 500. I still have no clue what we're going to do. It may just be a regular episode plus maybe some throwbacks or something. I don't know. I just like to maybe have the entire squad on for episode 500 where we just kind of have fun, you know. We'll see how that goes. Yeah. And now we have Geek Roundtable. This is the part of the show where we talk about some of the more geekier things we've done during the week and share stuff off. So what you got this week, Ari?
Well, it was something I had ordered last Monday, but I didn't have it in time for last week. But it's something that I just looked in the mail today and got. It's these laser engraved, bookmark and keychain.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
See, they're both of they're custom orders, for Team Harmony, and because I had asked the vendor. Power Crazy Chords LLC. I'll link their Etsy shop in the chat. I'd asked because I had seen them as Valor, Instinct, and Mystic, and I just threw it out there. I'm like, you don't have Team Harmony, do you? And I got in contact with her, and she said, yeah, I could ship them. I could ship them out to you. Just have to make them. I'm just like, okay then. So yeah, now I got some more Team Harmony merch.
That's good.
Because Moltres, Articuno, and Zapdos fighting is kind of a problem. And there was a whole movie about why that was a problem.
See, you follow the Pokemon lore a lot better than I do.
I'm fairly convinced that one of Lugia's songs just translates into, okay, what are you assholes doing this time? All right. What about you, Mako-chan? That looks nice.
I really don't have anything, so I just decided to show off my pretty computer again.
Basically, what Mako-chan is saying, bow down to the Shrine of Jupiter and Peridot.
Well, it's mostly just Peridot. It just happens that Jupiter shares the color green. So I can put, my Sailor Moon little thing there and turn it green. Although I could turn it any other color I wanted to, too. But yeah, the thing that I was going to show off today, it hasn't gotten here yet. Mainly because I didn't go to the post office after work. So I will have that at a future... for a future thing, but yeah. So I had 2 tarot decks on pre-order, one of which just shipped out. So I will have that on at some point.
What are they themed after?
The one that I will be showing off is actually supernatural themed.
Are you not surprised? I guess
not.
And then I'm still waiting on the. They actually created a labyrinth tarot deck, so that one is still on pre-order, I believe, for summer.
Is the Goblin King the Emperor?
I don't know. I don't know what the.
No previews or anything.
I mean, it could be he could be the magician or anything like that too, but I don't know what the. I think they showed like maybe 2 or 3 cards on that. But I do like to collect tarot decks. I do have a couple of them themed. I know I showed off my fan-made Sailor Moon one the other week.
Yep.
But I also have a Nightmare Before Christmas set. I have a dragon set. I have, the typical magician set. I have one that's actually created by a manga artist. So all of it is various manga-inspired characters. And I do collect them just like I collect cards. I think they're pretty. Some of them I do use. Some of them are, as I said, just collectors. But yeah, as soon as I saw that there was going to be a supernatural one and a labyrinth one, I had to have them.
I ain't surprised.
I still love my Philly Tarot card deck.
A lot of Johns in there.
Pretty is the devil.
And for some, he's the savior.
Yeah.
All right. So, like I said last week, I ordered a couple of figurines, and they kind of came within 2 days of each other. So, I showed off one of them, and that was Chizuru from Rental Girlfriend. You know, the anime that I hated to watch just because I needed to see how it was going to end. So, this one is Utaha Kamisugota from Seikano. Yeah, Utaha Kasumi Gaoka. Yeah, from Seikano. How to Raise a Boring Girlfriend. So, basically, the plot of that anime is an otaku finds 4 friends who are kind of otaku like him, and they decide to create like a romantic dating sim game, and they find the average girl as a heroine and kind of build the main character around her. So, and it gets kind of interesting. Season 1 is on Funimation. Season 2 is on Amazon Prime, but you'll have to download the movie because Aniplex has not released it in the States. Gee, I wonder why, but... And I have to say, if I had to put together like a top 10 list of animes I've really enjoyed from start to finish, Seikano is on there. It kind of bounces off of the typical tropes, and it kind of finds its way in there. And now our main hero, I forget his name off the top of my head, who he ended up dating in the end, I don't agree, but I understand why, and it works. And it works, so. I kind of hope that they come back and do like a 3rd season with them after college, working on the next project, so we will see, so, you know. So, anywho, let's see, let me find this. Before we even get into tonight's topics, we have some breaking news. And we'll get into further details on this our next week. But it seems that the rumors that Netflix picking up Sailor Moon Eternal was true. They just released a new trailer, and they're releasing it as a double feature on June 3rd.
Really?
Yes! You didn't hear about this?
I haven't been on Facebook.
I just happened to be on Twitter, and I'm just reading like.
Yeah, Facebook was blowing up about it.
See, because y'all know I'm still on a Facebook ban, so I'm just like on Facebook for like 20 minutes a day, and that's it. So I missed a lot of this. So I was on Twitter and following Anime Herald, and I saw a retweet from them, and I was like, what? My first thought was, how did VIZ let this happen? How did VIZ let Netflix just go right in and grab these movies? And I'm just like, how? I thought VIZ had the sole North American distribution rights, but maybe it was just for Classic and Crystal, and they didn't renegotiate the contracts for Eternal, or maybe because Eternal was in the theaters, that was outside of the scope of their contract, and Netflix picked it up. But as far as I know, it is, I think Bang Zoom is dubbing it. And I know that there was a casting call done, for various characters back in January. So I'm going to assume some of that is for different countries, because look at Cartoon Network. They have dubbed anime in English-speaking Asian countries. So, maybe it's something like that. Now, the only issue I have with this is that Sailor Moon Eternal is going to be in Netflix jail. Have you ever heard that term before?
I have not.
Basically, Netflix jail is basically where if Netflix has the rights to the series in Japan, they're going to air it in Japan, and then we won't see it for about a year. That's what's happening with Shaman King right now. Everybody was hyped that they was going to watch Shaman King on Netflix. Netflix Japan is airing Shaman King. We're probably not going to see that show until like September, October of this year, if that. If we're lucky. And also the fact that Netflix jail also means that it'll be strictly streaming. And it's not going to see a physical release. Now, not everything that Netflix does gets a physical release. I know Orange is the New Black got a release. And Voltron Legendary Defender got a release. I guess you could technically say Cobra Kai got a release too. But yeah, I'm just more annoyed at the fact that Netflix may not even put this on Blu-ray. So it's like I have a hole in my collection, you know? Oh yeah, and as Bob Coffey says, Castlevania has been released. So we're hoping. And I see at the beer, he says, something Surfshark, something VPN. That's what some people are doing. Oddly enough, there are people who are using VPNs to connect to bootleg streams of anime that is on commercial streaming services. And for the price you're paying for a VPN, you could be paying for that streaming service without commercial. So, yes. And Stranger Things, as C. W. says. So there's like 4 series that Netflix has in their hand that they license as physically released out of like what? Like a good couple hundred original titles that they have under their belt. So I do know that Charlene Ingram, amazing cosplayer, great friend of mine, she was working at VIZ, helping, she was a brand manager for Sailor Moon. She's actually helping the Netflix team with this. So I'm basically like, if she's behind this, I'm behind this too. So we're going to get the double feature on June 3rd, which is a Thursday. So I have a feeling that Thursday afternoon, my schedule is going to be booked up to the full. So we'll see. And the thing is, I just hate how some animes get like multi-licensed like that. It's like one company has the TV series, one company has the OAVs, one company has the movie, and it's like sometimes they'll use separate studios, and it's like you're just fucking this all up. Well, let's just hope and pray. All I know is the fans are happy. So maybe we'll finally get Sailor Stars within the next 10 years.
You're being optimistic, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna be collecting Social Security by the time we get Sailor Stars. I think a reboot of Ranma 1/2 would happen before we get Stars.
You're a madman, you know that?
And you're just realizing this. Anywho, let's get into tonight's stories. A lot of Madoka news.
Yeah, a lot of Madoka news actually dropped this past week. It is the 10th anniversary, so they ended up having a little thing. So the first thing that dropped is that during the 10th anniversary event that happened in Japan, they announced that a sequel would be coming for the movie. Now, right now there is a trilogy of movies. Yep. The first 2 movies are a retelling of the anime. The third movie is actually a sequel to that anime called Rebellion. This was put out in 2013. The new film is going to be called Walpurgis no Kaiten, and it's set to continue the story. So it is technically a sequel to the sequel movie. They did have a trailer release that it does look like it is the promo picture is Madoka in her normal outfit, and then a black gloved hand is reaching out for her, but it's a cracked mirror, you see. And so that black glove is probably from Homura, which makes me happy because she's my girl.
All right, as Bob Coffee says, Homura did nothing wrong. And Sita Beery goes, I mean, you're not wrong. And I have to say, she did nothing wrong too. My favorite character got killed within the first couple of episodes. I'm like, fuck it. So,
So it does look like they're going to be getting a lot of the heads back. So the chief director, one of the script writers, the character designers, the composer, and the designer of Witches Spaces, they're all coming back. The animations, it's all going to be animated at Studio Shaft. And also the original cast will be returning to do the voices. Also announced at this point was that the music collection, the full music collection and the ultimate best soundtracks will be streaming on services worldwide as of right now.
Damn.
So anything that you want to, be able to get on there, you can go onto, it doesn't say which streaming service, but I would assume that any of the major streaming services that you can find music on, you would be able to actually look up this whole thing.
To be perfectly honest, when you say major streaming service, the only one that comes to mind is Spotify. Because it's like, I mean, yes, there's Amazon Music and there's Apple Music, but it's like Spotify. Because if you notice, when you hear like anime music is streaming or video game music is streaming, it's generally Spotify that has it, and then maybe Apple Music. So
Mm-hmm. So with the announcement, they actually went to the writer, Jen Orabuchi, and was talking to him about this whole thing, and he basically said that he has been holding on to this script for over 5 years.
Wow.
Damn.
He mentioned that he mentioned on Twitter that he had finished writing the film between working on Kamen Rider Game in 2014 and Thunderbolt Fantasy in 2016. So now he's very excited because he does not have to hold in that this has actually been completed. He said, if I think about it, this was the last time I was able to write lines for cute girls all by myself. I'm glad it is finally seeing the light of day. So he's very excited that this is finally going to be out. And obviously we're all really excited about it finally coming out. In other news, the last of the Madoka news, the movie trilogy is going to be coming out on Blu-ray. It's actually being put out by Aniplex in America. It's due out July 20th. The special release will include both theatrical compilations of the TV anime. So that's the first 2 movies, as well as the original follow-up, which is Rebellion. Featuring a package with new illustrations. The Blu-ray release includes bonus content such as textless openings and endings, theatrical trailers, and TV commercials. So the new art that is going to be used in it is absolutely adorable. It does make the characters' outfits, their normal outfits, look a little bit more girly, a little bit more bubbly. It is going to be out spoken language in English and Japanese with subtitles in English and Spanish.
That's good.
So I'm excited for that. On top of that, I know that I didn't put it in here, but they finally came out with a proplica. So you will be able to get some Madoka props, and it's life size.
Oh,
so
boy.
I'm kind of excited about that. But I may just wait because it is like $65, $75. So I may wait until to see if they actually come out with a Homura one.
They should. I don't see why they shouldn't.
Well, I mean, it depends. With all the Sailor Moon proplicas that came out, we've always been, we want the transformation wands for all the girls. And they did Uranus and they did Neptune and went, yeah, we're done.
Pluto fans were not happy.
No, Saturn fans were not happy because Saturn didn't even get one in the frickin' series.
I mean, but she got a figure art. We want more than a figure art.
Well, they all got figure arts, but still.
I mean, if
we're
you
throwing our money at you, just take it.
But if you think about it, Pluto and Saturn don't have that much of an appearance. Well, if you're looking at the reboot, Pluto and Saturn doesn't appear as much. I mean, if you're looking at classic, we don't see that much from Saturn. Pluto we do see, but not as. I guess they don't have enough screen time to get transformation wands. So.
Yeah, well, no, even Pluto has a transformation wand.
Oh, I thought she said she didn't.
No,
oh, okay.
Saturn is the only one that never got one in the original series.
Because if you think about it, Saturn never had a transformation sequence at all. She finally got one in the movie.
Right, she finally got a sequence in the new movie set.
You mean Sailor Moon Eternal, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because didn't one of the original series movies have it, or one of the
Nope.
specials?
Not to my knowledge.
I definitely remember seeing a GIF of it somewhere.
And as Cedarberry says, they shouldn't poo.
Ha 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 ha.
Well, look at it this way. At least you're not picturing Winnie the Pooh in a Seifuku.
I think I've seen pictures like that.
Oh yeah, and Cedarberry says Saturn had a transformation in one of the video games. That's right, because there was a fighting game for 3DO, PlayStation, and Saturn. So I mean, it would be an insult if Saturn didn't have a transformation sequence. And
Here, I actually found a gift that I was looking for.
Oh, okay.
I'll post it in the chat as soon as this thing, my computer stops crapping itself.
Yeah, we have to definitely see about upgrading part of your machine one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
While you get that together, I will let everybody know about the state of emergency Japan is declaring in 4 prefectures. One of my friends, Cheyenne, who teaches in Japan, she was saying this was going to happen, and she was just waiting for it, and so it basically did. So basically, the state of emergency started April 25th, and it's going to May 11th, unless it's extended further. And these are the following restrictions. The government will ask establishments that offer alcohol or karaoke to close. Dining establishments to close before 8 o'clock every day. Commercial facilities larger than 1,000 square meters, which is about 10,800 square feet, to close, except for those offering daily essentials. Event organizers to have no in-person audiences. Mass transportation services will end earlier on weekdays and run less frequency during weekends and holidays. See, that's what the MTA should have done. If they were trying to keep people in the house, they should have just been like, yeah, we're cutting our services down by 50%. And that would definitely keep butts in houses, so, But then again, when you're heavily dependent on it, The government will also asks people to refrain from non-essential outings or traveling between prefectures. Basically, the daily reported case tally in Tokyo reached 861 last Thursday, which is its highest tally since January 29th during the second state of emergency. The Osaka prefecture recorded over 1,100 new cases on that same day. Tokyo and Osaka reported another 759 and 1,162 cases respectively that following Friday. And for the 4 consecutive days, Osaka has exceeded 1,000 new cases. Now, the new state of emergency aims to significantly reduce the number of people out during the upcoming Golden Week holiday, which starts April 29th and it goes to May 5th. But given how things are going, many people may take off the entire work week before or after the official holidays. Tokyo Governor Yuriko Koike reported that the metropolis is investigating into whether acts facilities to turn off the lights, except for street lights after 8 o'clock, to encourage people to return home instead of loitering during the evenings. Believe you me, if I'm walking around and I see the lights turning off, yeah, I'm going home.
Well, you're also, like, part of you also thinks, like, oh, good, this is the beginning of a horror game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to leave.
I mean, we have the premiere of the new Crayon Shin-chan movie, and Studio Ghibli's Earwig and the Witch premieres. Their openings that was going to happen have been delayed. So, Toho Cinema Chain has announced that it's only selling tickets on the same day for that, and not in advance. Its Roppongi Hills theater is only open until 8 p.m., and the chain is limiting operation hours of concession stands in theaters and other locations. At Tokyo Disneyland and Disney Sea are considering to honor the government's request for this state of emergency. So we're hoping, they will actually listen and follow along. So
I predict that'll be, there'll be a lot more, open to complying with this sort of thing in Japan than they would say here.
I can tell you that cinema chains Toho and Aeon did announce that they're closing the theaters in those prefectures, Tokyo, Osaka, Kyoto, and Hyogo, starting on Sunday, which was this past Sunday, due to this state of emergency. And it's going to stay closed until May 11th, which it's set to be rescinded. Other cinema chains in Japan are planning to do that as well, which is Shochiku Multiplex Cinemas, 109 Cinemas, United Cinemas T-Joy, and Cinema Sunshine. Sanrio theme park Puroland announced on Saturday that they're going to be closed from the 25th of April to May 11th. And starting this past Sunday, Universal Studios Japan is doing the same thing. And Takarazuka Review has also halted performances as well. So final, it looks like Japan is actually coming to a sudden halt yet again. So let's just.
Well, I mean, I can at least understand that because of the holiday, they're in the major cities where people would travel to. They're thinking ahead to try and limit what's going on. What really surprises me is the fact that they are so prevalent with wearing masks when sick.
It's already ingrained into their society.
Right.
They're perfectly fine with it.
It's surprising that there's still so much going on. And I mean, I know that it's basically because they're not following other restrictions as closely as they should.
Honestly, I feel like they'd be pointing at us, people over in America, the anti-maskers who are, losing their shit over it and getting sick anyway because look at that, you didn't wear a mask.
Well, it's not even that really. It's the Japanese government's been kind of hiding the numbers, fudging the numbers, and making the citizens realize this is not as serious as everyone thinks it is. So there's your main issue. But here is something interesting that a friend of mine, one of my cosplay friends, Chibi Tifa, pointed out, and I'm just like, are weebs that stupid? And then I realized I just answered my own question. Because do you know what people are buying? Weebs and fans are buying tickets to go to Japan right now as we speak. And I'm just like, are you fucking serious?
Well, unfortunately, because of the way that things were done, they did lift a lot of restrictions for those that have been vaccinated. Unfortunately, a lot of people that haven't been vaccinated think that they can, jump onto these things.
Yeah, but that's just...
Not realizing that when you come back from all of these countries, or before you even leave, you have to show proof that you've been vaccinated.
See, it's not even that. Even if you're vaccinated, Japan is not letting foreigners in. there are
Yeah.
my friend Cheyenne. She is a foreigner. She is worried if she travels home to visit family, she's not going to be able to get back into the country. That's the main issue. And you know what? I'm picturing a bunch of weebs at Narita Airport, singing anime opening songs in hopes that the government will open the doors for them. I can picture that shit right now.
So can I, and it just makes me want to bash my head against the wall.
Well, it makes me wonder why they're even able to get tickets into the country, if that's the case.
Because they're still up for sale. Maybe if you are a resident of Japan, it's okay. But, I don't think a lot of the weebs realize that, Japan's closed its borders to outside people. So maybe if you are a Japanese nationalist, you can go back and forth, Yes, and Sia Dabiri says, not just singing anime themes, doing the dances. Yes, I can see a bunch of weebs doing the Hottie Hottie Yukai in Narita Airport, okay? I can see that.
Yeah, I can also see a bunch of them coming back and going, I went to Japan.
Motherfucker, you didn't leave the airport!
What'd you do while you were there? I stayed in the airport. But I went to Japan.
Oh, boy.
Airplane companies trying to get those interest-free loans, Bob Coffey says. I mean, I guess if you need a loan for a $600 round-trip ticket, you do that. You do that thing so well.
You have a lot of problems.
Look,
that's what you're getting him a loan for.
More or less.
What in the hell did I just find on Amazon?
Okay.
That's a loaded question. What did you find?
I was trying to find old pictures, because I know it's an old picture of Winnie the Pooh in a Seifuku. So I'm just scrolling through Google.
Yep.
And a picture came up, and I
bad, huh?
Okay, you've gone quiet. I don't like.
By the URL alone, I'm not touching it. Nope. Oh
boy.
I'm not touching that till after the show, where I can safely grab the alcohol in my fridge.
Basically what it is, for those people that can't be in the chat and be totally disturbed by what I've found, you know how there are people that take fan art and will self-create shirts or whatever. Mm-hmm. Well, it looks like there's a company that took fan art and self-created underwear.
Mm-hmm.
And it's lined up very weirdly.
Oh yeah.
So like Sailor Moon's legs go down into your crotch. And it's
usually people have to pay a lot of money for her to do that to them.
Heyo!
Wow. Just wow.
Well, to be honest with you, I think Uranus would be the one more interested in that. That'd be her shtick.
Oh my!
Well, no, she should just be on the back of them.
She is a power top.
And Makoto's more into electricity play.
As long as she as long as she has Minako or Ami, I don't think Makoto's going to care.
That Jupiter doesn't fuck around. You get on her bad side, she'll send 1,000,000 volts right through your dick.
Anywho.
Anyway, we definitely went off on a tangent with that. I am sorry, that was completely my fault.
And so is the next article.
Gilbert Gottfried recites the what? Comedian Gilbert Gottfried has made a killing on the video sharing website Cameo. According to Entertainment Weekly, he's earned more than $1 million since 2018 through the site, where he charges $150 US per request. Damn, and I thought feet pics were lucrative. One of his recent videos is where he was to recite the lines of the opening rap theme to One Piece, the 4Kids version.
Bless.
It is absolutely amazing.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Now,
I'm not gonna play it here. I'm just gonna put
no,
a
no,
link
no,
in the chat.
no. I got y'all covered. I got y'all covered. Okay. All right.
No, really, that's not necessary.
Now, let's see. I'm going to put it here. Now, for some of y'all, when One Piece was part of the Fox box, or whatever, but going back about a good 10 plus years, they did a custom theme. And that theme, you only know it unless you have watched it or seen it on YouTube. And for some of y'all who have not seen it, I'm going to see if I can get this to play. So this is going to be fun. Let's see if I can get it to...
Only pay for what you need with Liberty Mutual. And
God damn it.
No. I keep forgetting... It's not... God damn it. Let's see. There we go. Skip trial. Come on. You know what? I'm just going to hide this because I can't get it to work. So.
Oh no! What a tragedy.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it kind of works better, you know, under Streamlabs OBS. So you know, there we go. And I keep forgetting that the audio is coming. The audio is coming through my sound system here. So let's see. No, that's not gonna work. I wonder if I could capture my window or something like that. No. Given what's on my many tabs, we'll get kicked off of Twitch, so we can't have that. So no. I'm gonna try this again, and I'm gonna reroute the audio where it should. All right, let's see.
There once was a man named Gold Roger who was king of the pirates. He had
I think this is it.
And wealth beyond your wildest dreams. Before they hung him from the gallows, these were the final words he said.
Come on.
My fortune is yours for the taking, but you'll have to find it first. I left everything I own in one piece.
Ever since, pirates from all over
Come on.
the world set sail
boy.
for the Grand Line, searching for one piece, the treasure
Please
that
tell
would make
me.
their dreams come true.
Yo!
Don't give it up, Luffy. Don't give it up, Solo. Don't give it up, Don't give it up.
Here's how the story goes. We find out about a treasure in the Grand Line. There's no doubt. The pirate whose eye is on it, he'll sing. I'll be king of the pirates. I'm gonna be king.
His name is Luffy.
That's Monkey D.
The pirates. It's made of rubber.
How did that happen?
Yo ho ho, he took a bite of gum gum. His name's Alo, he's just like the samurai. L-A-D-Y, Nami's not shy. Usopp's doing that marksman thing. Sanji's cooking, Chopper's doctoring.
Set sail for One Piece. It's the name of the treasure in the Grand Line. Set sail for One Piece.
And just so you know,
Are you
that's
ready for fun again?
just so you know, that's not the original version either. There's two versions of the rap to represent the different characters on the show.
Yeah, it evolved as the story went on, and it just got more and more awkward as I tried to crowbar more characters in there.
Yeah, but I get why they did it, to make it more enticing for normal watching, you know, and I totally get that. I mean, look, they did it in Pokemon, but at least with Pokemon it worked. But
Right, I tweeted it. I sent that tweet to my friend, and he wants my head on a platter.
all right, so I'm going to try. All right, copy video address. I'm going to try to bring up the Gilbert Gottfried version. So that's going to be fun. All right. Nope, that's not a local file. So there we go. Wait, what the hell? I think my other video, the other video is still playing. What the hell? Okay. There we go. Alright. See if I can get this one to play. If I can. I don't even know. Let's see. Shit. Come on. Come on.
See, even Twitch is revolting against you.
Yeah, I noticed that. That's why I'm going to try to pull up a link to the actual cameo and see if I can get it to work, because that's going to be fun. Let's see, copy link. Come on, come on, you stupid plugin, behave. Do I have to move it over here? Oh. No, I don't want to join your mailing list. Just play the damn video. Ah, screw it. Well, I tried. So,
Is there no way to play just the audio?
unless I rip... What? Actually, yeah. I can do that. I do have my system set to play the audio. So, let's see if
It's
this...
not like anything happens except him
Just
reciting
talking.
it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Hold on. Let me know if this should work.
Hi, this is Gilbert Gottfried, and this is from Chef Lubu. And it's called One Piece Rap. Yo, dreamin' don't give it up, Luffy. Dreamin' don't give it up, Zolo. Dreamin' don't give it up, Nami. Dreamin' don't give it up, no. Here's how the story goes. We find out about a treasure in the Grand Line. There's no doubt the pirate whose eye on it, he'll sing, I'll be king and I'll be pirate king. Yeah, yo, ho, ho. His name is Luffy. That's Monkey D. Luffy. Gonna be king of the pirates. He made a rub, it's Carfamio. How did this happen? Yo, he took a bite of gum. Yeah, yo. His name's Zolo. He's like a samurai. A lady Nami's not shy. You subs doing the market man thing. Seiji's cooked. Chopper's docketing. Yeah, yo. Set sail for One Piece. It's the name of the treasure in the Grand Line. Yeah, yo. Set sail. One Piece.
Okay.
I just have to let you know that when I found this, I was laughing my ass off. It was stupid early in the morning. It's like 6:30, not even 7 o'clock. I found this. I messaged Ranma and put it on his Facebook Messenger, and just left it like that at 6:30 in the morning.
I just would have been like, that's it, I'm going back to bed.
Well, he didn't check it until he got up. But...
Yeah, and it was the best thing. One of the best things to wake up to besides a nice cup of coffee. I will say, I have yet to send that to One Piece's biggest fan. I have to send it, unless he's seen it already. I'm going to send it to him.
I would not be surprised if he's seen it, just because of where I got it. I know he is friends with her, so
Who, Rose?
yeah.
But still, his reaction would be priceless. Now,
Yeah, I was just like, I saw that and I had a mental, what the fuck did I just watch? And then watched it again and laughed my ass off.
whatever
It was-
whatever Lubu paid, it was well worth its weight in gold. Okay, okay.
I absolutely love Cameo because most of the actors and actresses and musicians, and they have, Twitch people that are on there, they have voice actors that are on there. Most of them, you can ask them to do certain things, and it's anywhere between 30 seconds up to however long, and it's really kind of awesome. I actually got my mother one for Christmas. I chipped in with my cousin, and got her a cameo from Lori Petty. And that was really, really cool. I'm a huge fan of her, and my mother's a huge fan of her. So yeah. If you can go on to cameo.com and you can see just how many freaking people are on there. I know Kevin Smith is on there now.
Cedarberry just said, now I'm imagining him doing the same thing to the Card Captors theme, and I think Ari is going to have a stroke if we don't stop.
Card Captor's nothing. I want him to do the poker rap. Like all 150 of the Pokemon poke rap.
No,
Not the theme song.
No, Tenchi Universe theme. That no, I got one better. Gilbert Gottfried doing Cruel Angel Thesis. That's it. That will destroy the Ava fandom and everything in a 150-mile radius.
Well, now we know what the last angel is. It's Gilbert Gottfried.
Yes.
And to think, a dramatic reading of 50 Shades of Grey was the low water mark for his voice.
And the last angel is shaped like Iago.
No, what I'm thinking now is Gilbert Gottfried's voice doing the Eva theme, but somebody puts that onto a video of Gendo. So it looks like Gendo's talking with Gilbert Gottfried's voice.
I'm telling you. Get in the goddamn robot, Shinji. Jesus Christ. What the fuck was that? That sounded more Vince McMahon than Gilbert Gottfried.
Either or.
Get in the goddamn robot, damn it.
All right, Mako, your fandom one more time.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. So, yeah, I know that we have spoken of the wonderfulness that is Deadpool Samurai in Japan.
Yep.
Well, it seems that VIZ is going to be teaming up with Marvel, and they're bringing Deadpool Samurai to the US.
Nice.
So I'm excited about that. On top of all of that, we're looking at, in partnership between VIZ Media and Marvel Comics, the series will be officially on its way in English for February 2022. That's not the only Marvel manga that will be coming through. Prior to that, VIZ has plans to publish Marvel Meow, which first started as one of Marvel's official Instagram comic strips starring Captain America's cat, Chewie. The series follows this voracious feline as she wreaks havoc among the likes of Spider-Man, Iron Man, and Deadpool, as well as villains like Thanos and Galactus. That is due out October 12th of this year. After that, and after Marvel Meow and Deadpool Samurai, next on the list will be Secret Reverse. That is actually from the creator of Yu-Gi-Oh! That one is currently set for sometime in summer of 2022. And there are other titles that have yet to be announced. So we're finally getting the Japanese Marvel mangas
Again,
translated into English, and I'm freaking excited about that.
Yeah, that does sound pretty cool. Although, like, you know, given how the Japanese alphabets work, I'm surprised that all Deadpool speech bubbles aren't written in like hiragana or katakana. You know?
Well, technically, Deadpool has two different colored speech bubbles.
Yeah, and occasionally a third white one.
So I think it would be too confusing, just given who would be reading the comics, to have things switching back and forth between the different written versions.
Yeah, but usually they do that if the character is either like immature or foreign or weird in some other way.
Yeah, but considering just how many different ways they would have to have him speak, it's probably easier to denote that differently.
And of course, Deadpool would make fun of it.
of course.
Of course.
All right, now that we got that the way, Ari, tell everybody what's going on with Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba Mugen Train.
It is topped Spirited Away to become the highest grossing anime film worldwide,
Ka-ching.
with about 48 billion yen or 440 some odd million worldwide. Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, the movie, Mugen's Train, its 192nd day at the box office and the third day of its North American run, it finally overtook Spirited Away to become the highest grossing anime film worldwide. Thanks to its best opening weekend for an anime film this century in North America, as well as continuing its outstanding run in South Korea over last week, the Ufotable, or Ufotable, I'm not sure how that's pronounced, was pushed to heights
Ufotable.
everyone thought unbelievable for a late-night anime series. In Japan, Mugen Train had one of its smallest weeks since the run began over 6 months ago, only bringing in 80 million yen, which is about $750,000 thereabouts, for a total box office revenue of about 40 billion yen, which is about 365 million.
Ooh, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, I think this past week Conan actually beat out Demon Slayer for the first time. Demon Slayer was not number one.
Yeah, as of April 25th, Mugen Train has brought in 442.81 million US dollars, or about 48 billion yen, at worldwide. So it's the Spirit of the Way is now number 2 at 47.03 billion, which is just under 400 million. And Your Name is a third with about $380 million worldwide. Unlike the dollar, the Japanese yen has remained steady over the last 20 years, only seeing 2.15% inflation since Spirit of the Way release, making it a perfect indicator of which film is number one. Yeah, we always have to do that adjusted for inflation shtick, don't we?
Yeah, but it kind of makes it more accurate, though.
Mm-hmm. The film opened in Japanese cinemas on October 16th and had the best opening weekend in Japanese cinema history. And yeah, it says the highest, like, they're really proud of it being the highest grossing anime film worldwide. You can tell this article is because of how many times they say it and come up with different ways to say it.
Mm-hmm. I know people who went to the theaters and cosplayed to see this, and I'm like, that's great. Y'all can do that, but I'll wait till Funimation, whoever gets it for digital streaming in June, and I'll watch it then. So
It's kind of sort of picking up here. Like the last time I saw it happening was The Last Airbender.
But
we don't like to talk about that one.
Yeah. But, my thing is, weight restrictions and stuff. I just rather not go out. I've gotten too used to being at home. Like, tomorrow or later tonight, I'm going to sit down and finally watch Godzilla vs. King Kong before it leaves HBO Max in like 3 days. So
It's a good movie.
I still haven't watched it.
So I've
You're
heard.
not really watching these things for the plot, obviously.
But the plot's pretty good. I mean, it weaves right through, so you know.
Granted, yeah, that's true. Yeah, there are parts of it that won't hold up, for like a CinemaSins rendition of it. But on the other hand, monkey lizard go boom. Oh, another little, like when I saw it with my friend, it was like, oh, they're smashing up Hong Kong instead of Tokyo for a change. And I look at him and go, or as they say on CinemaSins, discount Tokyo. Ding! It's like, and he goes, well, it's better than the last movie with Boston getting leveled. And I just go, discount New York City. Ding! Boston
getting leveled was like the best part of the fucking movie because let's be real.
Of course you'd say that.
Because Boston's a shithole. I mean, come on. That's right. I said it. If you got a problem with it, you know the email address. And my socials. Whatever. So, our last story tonight about voice actress legend Megumi Hayashibara. She is going to do a VTubing concert as her most famous character, Lena Inverse. And I think that's pretty cool. So basically, her concert, officially being called the Lena Inverse 3D Concert, she will be performing Give a Reason, Midnight Blue, Breeze, Revolution, Two Thumbs Up. And these are from Slayers Next, Slayers the Motion Picture, Slayers Try, Slayers Revolution, and the last one is an image song from the Slayers Megumi Mix compilation album, which I need to get my hands on, In addition to the songs, the stream event, which is part of the Slayers' 30-year anniversary festivities, will include a YouTuber-style video component featuring not only Lena, but also her friend/rival Naga, as both Hayashibara Naga's voice actress Maria Kawamura are listed on the voice credits, which is cool. I believe I have a remix album by her, which is really nice. And the script supervisor for this is the franchise creator Hajime Kanzaka. As for the specific venues, on the May 7th concert, it will stream via X-World VR chat, while May 8th, the host is streaming on the streaming video platform Twitcasting. Both start at 9 p.m. with a ticket fee of 3,300 yen, which is $32. Tickets numbers are being limited, and applications can be made for the May 7th stream here and the May 8th one here. Hopefully, they will release this to YouTube, which would be kind of cool. If not, somebody is going to rip a stream of it. It's happened before. I mean, yeah, Anime NYC's Idol concert. Yeah, I got copies of that. Yep. So, now we're at the part of the show that y'all all really stick around for. Interesting stories coming out of Japan. Meanwhile, in Japan. So, let me turn my light back on because it's set to turn off at 11. There we go. Now it's back on. Get that out of here. We get that out of here. All right, let's take a look at what we got here.
You two can make the first two picks.
I'll take the first one.
Okay. I'll take the last one.
I guess I'll take the third one.
Go for it.
The second one we can save for later.
Done and done.
Okay. So this is actually an update to, what was it, 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
The man who ended up being arrested for stealing women's shoes. So, as the story goes, 2 weeks ago, a man was arrested for stealing a pair of shoes that belonged to a music teacher. What was even stranger is that he ended up leaving a nearly identical, very new pair of shoes in their place. The ensuing investigation found a further 20 pairs of women's shoes in the suspect's home, suggesting that he had done this several times. He had also admitted to police that he had exchanged the shoes because he enjoyed the scent of the used ones. So that is how things stood as of 2 weeks ago. But upon further investigation, new details have come to light about the theft's modus operandi. It turned out that the man would survey the shoe cubbies of his victim's workplace and take photos so that he could purchase a convincing pair of lookalikes. Then, after buying the shoes, he would break them in himself.
What?
For a bit before making the switch so that hopefully the victim wouldn't even notice. It would seem this new information proved too much for the initial victim to handle because the music teacher dropped the charges against him, saying that the details of the case were too disgusting for her. She wasn't alone either. After her story broke, many other women came forward about their shoes feeling suddenly different and reported it to police. However, none of them were willing to pursue charges against the man for similar reasons. As a result, on the 23rd of April, the suspect was set free and will not stand trial. The police have also determined that he was not stalking any of the women themselves, just their shoes. So they will not seek charges on those grounds either. Due to the nature of the case, it was difficult to get cooperation, said an officer. If that's what the victims want, then there's nothing we can do. But it's a shame because we put a lot of work into the investigation. Meanwhile, netizens were amazed that this man will go unpunished, presumably because what he did was so repulsive and insignificant that no one wanted anything to do with it. Quotes are, so this guy is so perverted that even the law can't touch him. He fought the law and he won by being totally gross. That is one powerfully revolting guy.
That's an understatement of the year.
Yeah, it's easy to look at the facts of the case and dismiss it as not a big deal, especially since the shoes were replaced. However, it's still a violation of people's privacy that undoubtedly fills them with a general sense of unease and can stay with them throughout their day-to-day life. That feeling is only amplified by having to dwell on it with repeated police reports and testimonies. Throw in the considerable attention the case has gotten in the media, and it's not unimaginable that the victims would prefer to put it all behind them as soon as possible. One bit of consolation is that the guy is fully on the local police's radar now, so in the very likely event that he tries something like this again, his chances of getting caught have gone up considerably.
Well, good.
You know, aside from the, feeling up and getting off on the scent, this is something the Florida man would do.
No, this is too civil even for Florida man.
It's just, I'm so, I understand that it wouldn't, they wouldn't want to necessarily have them go to trial where they would have to deal with it, but I can't understand why there's nothing that the police can't do even though he confessed. Like, obviously there are charges even if the woman decides that she doesn't want to press charges herself.
But that leaves it to the DA, and the DA's like, well, yeah, we're not touching this.
Yeah, well, that's stupid.
Ain't saying you're wrong. All right, Ari, your turn.
Oh boy. Pooping in the supermarket checkout lands Kitayashu man 300,000 yen fine. Oh, shit. Here we go again.
That's just turtable, man.
But,
At about 4 a.m. on February 18th in Kirakyushu City in Fukuoka Prefecture, a heavily intoxicated man, explains it, wandered into a 24-hour supermarket and approached the cashier in the checkout aisles. I want to poop, he told the staff member. He then told him that the restroom was locked overnight for security reasons. While most people at that point would have him search for another place, the man simply said, "I'll do it here," dropped trowel, and let nature take its course right in the checkout aisle. He was promptly arrested for the indecent exposure and ultimately charged with obstruction of business, given the extensive cleanup that was required afterward.
Oh.
The crime holds a maximum penalty of 3 years in prison or $500,000 yen, which is about $4,600. The court of public opinion has little to no leniency with things like, "That was the most costly shit I've ever heard of. Hope there's another supermarket in the area because he can't go there again. Even dogs and cats know enough not to do that." And he's like, "Wow, I can't even pee with other people around." He could have at least got a plastic bag to go in.
Lord.
And here's the most relatable one for me. If I was a staff working at that movement, I would have quit on the spot. Like, seriously, like, I'd be out of there so fast you just see an after image of me, the apron just hanging in the air.
No, I would have been like, peace. And then I would just fade it to black, so, you know.
We're like, "I'm out." And just hit the jetpack. Oftentimes this is where the story ends, but when the man's case went to trial, everyone was able to get some unprecedented insight into the mind of a supermarket checkout pooper. There's something you don't say every day. And in January, his father passed away, and the loss devastated him, and he rapidly descended into full-blown alcoholism. He's been hospitalized more than once for alcohol dependency, but it seemed to do little good. On February 17th, from noon, he started drinking distilled Japanese beverages with a high alcohol content known as shochu, and didn't stop until police escorted him away from a pile of his own crap in a supermarket. And the alcohol in the ABV of a shochu is about 20 to 40%. He told us all to the judge at the trial and admitted he has recognized his act as inhuman. I'm like, no shit. Sorry. He also promised to join a support group for alcoholism, saying if this incident didn't cause him to swear off drinking, he's truly doomed. And the judge, Kanji Ino, took that into consideration and rendered a maximum punishment, handed out a 300,000 yen fine, which is about $2,800, and set a condition that his fine would be reduced by 7,500 yen for each consecutive day that he didn't drink. So if he goes 40 days without touching any drinks, his fine will be completely waived.
Well, that's good.
So that's a metric lent, then, in other words. So hey, if he can pull through and do that, good for him. I mean, people are still going to give him shit about what he did, but yeah, I realized it as soon as it came out of my mouth.
Well, now we going from taking a poop in public places to conning 35 girlfriends out of gifts. I mean,
what?
Yeah.
Enlighten us.
And the thing is, he would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for his 35 girlfriends. So, this story brings us the story of Takashi Miyagawa, a 39-year-old part-time worker of no fixed address, shocker, who was arrested for defrauding nearly 36 women he pretended to be in serious relationships with. In the most recent case, he told a 47-year-old woman that his birthday was on February 22nd when it was actually November 13th. Other victims have come forward, such as a 40-year-old woman who he told his birthday was in July, a 35-year-old woman who thought his birthday was in April. The current count of victims stand at 35, with a possibility of more, who are accusing Miyagawa of cheating them out of a total of 100,000 yen, which is about $925, made up of smaller birthday gifts of money and clothing. Miyagawa reportedly met his victims while he was selling hydrogen water shower heads and other equipment through a multi-level marketing company. Well, there you go. And started up romantic relationships with each one under the assumption that marriage was in the cards. However, as his web of lies began to dissolve like the hydrogen molecules in his therapeutic water, the women all formed a victims association and reported him to the police last February. Wow. And this is what the general public thought of all of this. Can you imagine all that scheduling and planning to date 35 people at the same time? Even if he sees one every day, there's still 5 more after a month. Isn't it easy to get a job at that point? It seems like he should be a better MLL salesman if he's such a smooth talker. I wonder what he does when Christmas rolls around. Oh, man. He is an awful person, but I envy his time management skills. That's just, wow. Well, if I were his lawyer, I would probably use the broken clock defense on him, suggesting that with 35 women and 12 months, he must have at least told one of the women his real birthday and not committed fraud in that instance. Yeah. It wouldn't do much
I've seen stupider, defenses in that, so.
Exactly. It wouldn't do much aside from just slightly reducing his punishment. But when you screwed over so many people that they can form an association against you, there's not a whole lot you could do except for cry and hope for the best. And I'm just going to say this. I actually knew somebody who is in a polyamorous relationship. It got so bad, he had to maintain 2 apartments just to capture some level of sanity. Okay?
Jeez. Yeah. And with the rent in New York being what it is?
No. This was in Jersey, but still.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Very. Shall we go ahead and wrap it up?
Yes, please.
Wow, that was in unison. Let's do it. So, if you like the show, tell a friend. They in turn will tell another friend, and so on and so forth. We're independent bloggers, independent podcasters. We do this for the fun of it. So, we tell you what we like and don't like straightforwardly. If you have any questions about the show, drop us a line at podcast@animejamsession.com. Again, that is podcast@animejamsession.com. We're here to believe you. And don't forget to check out our website at animejamsession.com, where you will find our weekly podcast, anime reviews, convention reviews, cosplay tips and tricks, cosplayer interviews, editorials, and a lot more at animejamsession.com with special guest Gilbert Gottfried, as said by Sia DeBeery. And don't forget to check out our podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Anchor FM. Over 400 episodes are there. Check them out. We'd like to hear what you think, and leave reviews if you can. We'd really appreciate that as well. And don't forget to follow us on our social medias, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Follow us there when we're going live. If you want to see our convention coverage videos, cosplay photos, articles, so much more. It's facebook.com/animejamsession, twitter.com/animejamsession, and youtube.com/animejamsession. Okay, you sense the theme here. And everybody who's been tipping and donating and so forth, you guys are awesome. I really appreciate that. Every little bit goes a long way to keep the show going. There's links down below for our tip jars for Streamlabs, Ko-Fi, and so forth. You could give bits, that would be cool. Give out subscriptions. We appreciate that. We appreciate every little bit y'all do, because you guys are awesome. So now we're going to go around the room. Last words. Ari.
I want to go to bed so I can stop this incessant ringing in my head.
Gotcha. Last words, Mako-chan.
I am looking forward to Friday. I cannot wait because Pokemon Snap drops and I'm excited as hell to play.
My last words, I see ice cream and a Godzilla movie in my future real soon. So that is it. End of list. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode. Wild Spice or Koi may be joining us. We don't know. But Ichigo will be back soon. So, all that good stuff. So that's it. We're getting out of here. We'll see you next week. I'm Ranma.
I'm Ari.
And I am Mako-chan.
Great fight. Great night. See you next week.
Good night, everybody.
Night.
Say goodnight, Mako-chan.
Good night, Mako-chan.
Perfect. See y'all next week.
This podcast has been a production of Anime Jam Session and AJS Productions. No fanboys and fangirls were hurt, maimed, shot, electrocuted, or pistol whipped in this episode. For now. The views, opinions, and thoughts expressed on the show do not reflect the staff or the network as a whole. But we're still right, damn it! For transcripts of this episode, start typing. Check us out at animejamsession.com and vognetwork.com for more information about us and other programming. Jamatane!